Daniel Dubois recently visited Jake Paul's training camp and shared his thoughts on how Joshua can be beaten. Having faced Anthony Joshua himself, Dubois believes his experience gives him a unique understanding of AJ's habits and weaknesses. Those around the camp suggest Dubois feels confident that his first-hand knowledge could be valuable for Jake as he prepares for one of the biggest fights of his career. Dubois is one of the few fighters who truly knows what it feels like to stand across from Anthony Joshua in a real fight. In their IBF heavyweight title clash on September 21, 2024, at Wembley Stadium, Dubois shocked the world by knocking Joshua out in the 5th round. He dropped AJ multiple times before sealing the victory with a decisive finish. That night gave Dubois rare insight into Joshua's pressure, reactions, rhythm, and vulnerabilities. Because of this experience, Dubois is able to explain Joshua's tendencies in a way no outsider can, offering Jake Paul a perspective built on real combat, not theory. As the conversation around Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua continues to grow, the matchup has become one of the most unusual debates boxing has ever seen. It blends two completely different worlds, leaving fans and experts divided between curiosity and disbelief. One of the loudest voices in this discussion is Darren Till, who remains openly skeptical. Till believes there is a strong possibility that the fight could be staged or structured more for entertainment than pure competition. In his view, if the contest is not completely genuine, predicting a real outcome becomes impossible. He sees the event as attention-driven rather than a true sporting challenge and admits he has little interest in watching Jake Paul step in the ring with a fighter like Joshua. While Till approaches the fight with frustration and doubt, a different perspective comes from Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver, and Angel Fernandez. Instead of dismissing the bout, they analyze it through a strategic and business-minded lens. They argue that Jake Paul is not reckless enough to take this fight without believing there is something in his favor. According to them, Jake must see an angle the public does not, whether it's timing, conditions, preparation, or structure. Their discussion suggests that this decision is part of a larger plan rather than blind ambition. They believe Jake is entering this fight with calculated confidence, not ignorance. Johnny Nelson offers another balanced viewpoint, combining realism with appreciation. He states that anyone genuinely claiming Jake Paul can beat Anthony Joshua likely does not believe it themselves. In Nelson's opinion, such predictions come more from gamblers chasing odds than from true belief in Jake's boxing ability. He sees no realistic path for Jake to overcome someone with Joshua's experience at the elite heavyweight level. However, Nelson also gives Jake credit where it's due. He acknowledges that Jake has helped bring fresh attention to boxing, attracting younger audiences and reigniting interest in the sport, even if the matchup itself feels far-fetched. Eddie Hearn adds a calm and analytical conclusion to the discussion. He explains that the pressure in this fight falls heavily on Anthony Joshua. AJ is expected to win decisively, and that expectation creates risk. If Joshua wins quickly, people will say it was obvious. If the fight lasts longer than expected, critics will question his sharpness and form. Hearn also refuses to completely dismiss Jake Paul. He admits Jake is tougher than many give him credit for and believes he could survive the early rounds. Still, Hearn makes one thing clear: no matter Jake's confidence or preparation, the gap in experience, skill,